Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, I retreat from any formulation of tonight's exchange that suggests that everyone on the other side should embrace creation. Not everyone on the affirmative side embraces creation. What we contend is that everyone should acknowledge creation as an alternative explanation for cosmic and biological happenings now thought by so many as naturalist in provenance and momentum. Why? Because my colleagues and I judge that the evidence for the naturalist theory of evolution is not merely insubstantial, it is fanciful. If it is so that life as we know it is the ongoing display of punctuated equilibriums, then we pause and ask, what is the theory of natural selection, and how explain macroevolutionary developments? If there is no theory, on the grounds that you don't need a theory to account for mere happenstance, then we give it as our judgment that such data as we have can't come up with a plausible theory under the aegis of natural materialism, because what pops up here is chaotic, they're contradictory. If chance is the progenitor of the human eye, then chance is so arresting in its stochastic formulations as to warrant something other than scientific complacency, something more like true reverence. But reverence is a swear word in buttoned-down scientific circles because it sounds too extra-natural. We don't revere the aurora borealis, we simply take pleasure in it, as we do in the Goldberg variations, happy that the cosmos happened to give us that stupendous constellation, happy that the genetic pool gave us the art of Johann Sebastian Bach. I speak only for myself, though some of my confederates may wish to associate themselves with me on this matter, when I say that I am much taken by what goes by the name of the anthropic view. What it says is that there are a handful of elements that make up the cosmos, and that the balance in which they coexist has no explanation more plausible than that there's only that it's the only way to make possible a human life. Whence anthropic design for man. The nuclear weak force I'm informed is 10 to the 28th times the strength of gravity. If it had been just a little weaker, the Earth would have been without water. Uniquely among the molecules, water is lighter in its solid than in its liquid form. Ice therefore floats. If it weren't so, the ocean would freeze from the bottom up, and the Earth would be covered with solid ice. Such data aren't the kind of things that make up my personal library. But how much science do we need to master to qualify us reasonably to affirm that there has to be a reason for you and me and the world we live in? A reason other than acts of raw nature driven by what? I'm reminded of the reply by an elderly scientist 100 years ago. When confronted by an exuberant young skeptic, he said to his student, I got to tell you, I find it more reasonable to believe in God than to believe that Hamlet was deduced from the molecular structure of a mutton chop. So I beg your attention to our resolution tonight, which is that the dogma of evolution should give way to a broader intelligence which makes way for a first mover. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Buckley.